Hello and welcome to our channel, where we explore the mysteries and wonders of the universe. In today's video, we will delve into some of the most fascinating paradoxes that exist in the universe. Paradoxes are statements or situations that seem to contradict each other, but are nevertheless true. These paradoxes challenge our understanding of reality and inspire us to think outside the box. The grandfather paradox. The grandfather paradox is a thought experiment that is commonly used to illustrate the difficulties and contradictions that arise when considering the possibility of time travel. It is often cited as one of the most famous and well-known paradoxes, and it highlights some of the fundamental issues that would arise if time travel were possible. The paradox begins with the assumption that time travel is possible and that you are able to travel back in time to a point before your grandparents had children. If you were to travel back in time and prevent your grandfather from having children, by killing him, for example, then it would seem that you would never have been born. If you were never born, then you couldn't have traveled back in time to kill your grandfather, and he would have lived, gone on to have children, and you would have been born. This creates a paradox because it seems to be both true that you did travel back in time and prevent your grandfather from having children, and that you could not have done so because if you had, you would not exist. This paradox highlights the difficulties in reconciling the concept of free will and the ability to change the past with the notion that the future is predetermined by the past. One possible resolution to this paradox is that time travel is impossible or that the past is fixed and cannot be changed, meaning that you could not travel back in time and prevent your grandfather from having children. Another resolution is that a parallel universe or alternate timeline is created when you travel back in time and change the past. In this case, you would still exist in your original timeline, but a new version of yourself would be born in the altered timeline. In summary, the grandfather paradox is a thought experiment that highlights the fundamental issues that arise when considering the possibility of time travel. It illustrates the difficulties in reconciling the concepts of free will and the ability to change the past with the idea that the future is predetermined by the past. While there are several possible resolutions to this paradox, it remains a fascinating topic of discussion and debate among scientists and science fiction enthusiasts alike. Fermi paradox. The Fermi paradox is a paradox that questions the lack of evidence for or contact with extraterrestrial civilizations despite the high probability of their existence. The paradox is named after the physicist Enrico Fermi, who famously posed the question, "Where is everybody?" during a conversation about extraterrestrial life with colleagues in 1950. The paradox is based on the assumption that the universe is vast and ancient, with billions of stars and planets that could potentially harbor life. With the vastness of the universe and the billions of years it has existed, it is likely that other intelligent civilizations have evolved elsewhere in the universe. This raises the question of why we haven't encountered any evidence of their existence. Several potential explanations for the Fermi paradox have been proposed, including the possibility that advanced civilizations are rare or that they are too far away from Earth to detect. Another explanation is that civilizations may destroy themselves before they are able to establish communication with other civilizations, for example through the development and use of advanced weaponry. Another possibility is that we simply haven't been looking for evidence of extraterrestrial life in the right way or haven't developed the technology to detect it yet. It's also possible that we have encountered evidence of extraterrestrial life, but it has not yet been recognized or properly interpreted. Overall, the Fermi paradox is a thought-provoking paradox that highlights the possibility of extraterrestrial life in the universe and the challenges in detecting and communicating with it. While there is currently no definitive answer to the paradox, it continues to generate interest and speculation in the scientific and general communities. The bootstrap paradox. The bootstrap paradox, also known as the ontological paradox, is a thought experiment that explores the concept of causality and the relationship between the past, present, and future. This paradox arises when a time traveler brings an object or information from the future to the past, and that object or information is then used to create the future that the time traveler came from. For example, imagine that a time traveler goes back in time and gives a famous musician a song that they will later become known for. The musician then becomes famous for the song, and the time traveler hears the song in the future and travels back in time to give it to the musician. In this scenario, the song has no clear origin or creator, as it appears to be a closed loop that perpetuates itself. This paradox challenges the concept of causality, as the object or information seems to have no origin or cause. It also raises questions about the nature of time and the ability to change the past. If the time traveler had never gone back in time to give the song to the musician, would the musician still have written the song in the future? Or would the future have been altered in some way? One possible resolution to this paradox is that the object or information is part of a closed loop in time, with no clear beginning or end. In this scenario, the object or information is created and perpetuated by the loop itself, without any external influence or causality. Another possible resolution is that multiple timelines or parallel universes exist, and the time traveler's actions create a new timeline or universe that diverges from the original timeline. Overall, the bootstrap paradox is a fascinating thought experiment that challenges our understanding of causality and the nature of time. While there is no definitive answer to this paradox, it raises important questions about the relationship between the past, present, and future, and the ability to change or influence them. The twin paradox. The twin paradox is a classic thought experiment that demonstrates the effects of time dilation, a consequence of Einstein's theory of relativity. The paradox involves two twins, one of whom stays on Earth while the other travels at near light speed to a distant planet and back. According to relativity theory, time appears to pass more slowly for objects that are moving relative to an observer than for objects at rest. When the traveling twin returns to Earth, they will have aged less than their twin who stayed on Earth. This seems paradoxical because both twins experienced the same amount of time, yet the traveling twin has aged less. This paradox can be resolved by understanding the effects of time dilation. Time dilation occurs because space and time are interwoven and form a fabric called spacetime. When an object moves through spacetime, it changes the fabric of spacetime, causing time to appear to pass more slowly. The faster the object moves, the greater the time dilation effect. In the twin paradox, the traveling twin experiences time dilation because they are moving at near light speed relative to the stationary twin on Earth. When the traveling twin returns to Earth, they will have aged less because time appeared to pass more slowly for them due to time dilation. This effect has been demonstrated in experiments with atomic clocks on airplanes and satellites, which show that time passes slightly more slowly at higher speeds. Overall, the twin paradox is a fascinating thought experiment that demonstrates the effects of time dilation and challenges our understanding of the relationship between space and time. While it may seem paradoxical at first, the paradox can be resolved by understanding the effects of time dilation and the interwoven nature of spacetime. The paradox of the liar. The paradox of the liar is a paradox that arises when a statement contradicts itself. For example, if someone says, "This statement is false," then if the statement is true, it's false, but if it's false, then it's true. This paradox challenges the concept of truth and logic. These are just a few of the many paradoxes that exist in the universe. They challenge our understanding of reality and inspire us to think creatively. Paradoxes may seem to contradict themselves, but they can also reveal deeper truths about the universe. We hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more exciting content.